What is up, guys? Welcome back to part 2 of the gut sword build video. I just want to say quickly thank you guys for all of the support on the last video as well as the support along the journey. I can't believe it's over now, but please enjoy the review. Alright, I made the outline. Now time to cut along that edge. Alright, this is day 2 of part 2. I had to take a break yesterday because the weather caused a lot of interruption and I didn't want to weld when everything was wet. So yeah, back at it again today. Hopefully we're going to try to cut all this off, kind of make it like the other piece. I don't have it right now, but yeah, cut this off and then weld this with that piece down there together. And then put everything on the handguard with the entire blade and weld it together. I think I can do it all today.
What's my name? The DJ, Master Q.
A lot cleaner of a cut this time. Look at that, look at that. And now, time to take the angle grinder with the grinding disc. Grind it all out, make it look better. Then I'll weld that to that part over there, just like this part, and then weld everything to the blade. Alright, it is break time. I just finished grinding down everything. Also grinded down the welds on the other part of the handguard. I'm gonna go get my welding stuff, take a break, come back out, weld the handguard together, and then eventually weld it onto the sword itself. Whew. And that means the last part will be just sharpening the blade itself, drilling the holes for the handle, putting on the pommel, and that's it. So maybe 2 days if I'm being relaxed. So yeah. Not too shabby of a weld. Look at that. My second time, well, my first time doing it since I was off for spring break, but holy crap, not bad. Okay, here comes the big moment. Laying everything out, and then I will proceed to weld it. Yes, finally. Okay, it goes something like this. And these 2 spacer bars that I cut some time ago go here and here. I'll make sure they're balanced both sides. Ta-da! Sandwich it like that. There you go. That way all the gaps will be filled in with the welding. But yeah, that's the idea. And I'll call it a day after that. The next day I'll cut the pommel to shape, drill it, and then yeah, I think then I'll work on finishing that handguard, putting in all the bolts to give it that look, and there we go. Yeah, and then work on the blade and just finish the fine details.
Punchline sakuretsu up in your ass, ichigeki ipatsu blah. My shit is tighter than shogakusei no pussy.
I had a real hard time welding the handguard together. I think it's because I didn't have the 220 volt outlet, just a regular 110. So I had a hard time really sticking whenever I tried to strike the arc. So it looks real nasty because I try to spark it everywhere. But for the meantime, I just tapped it a little bit on each side just to hold the shape. Tomorrow I'll grind down everything, clean it up, and then try again with the 220 volt outlet. Day 3, a little late start today, but it's alright. Just gonna be grinding this down and just trying to weld everything back together. And then, yeah, I'll figure out where to go from there. Alright, welcome back guys. I think it is officially day 4 of part 2 of the build. Ran into some trouble last time because, well, my camera ran out of storage, so I had to go buy a SD card. But I don't think I showed much of it on camera, but I finished welding it. It looks really nasty, looks really dirty. The welds are pretty bad. I just couldn't get it to weld for some reason. It wasn't as easy. Maybe it has to do with my wattage or my output on my welder thing, but whatever. There are a bunch of cracks still. I'm gonna see if I can find I'm gonna see if I can go in and fill in the cracks even more after I get done grinding some stuff out, and then eventually grinding everything down to make it even. But yeah, that's what I'm trying to do today. I'm gonna try to finish tomorrow because today's Monday, so on Wednesday my friends are coming down to see me, and hopefully I can show them the finished product. Okay, after welding and grinding it down and re-welding and grinding it down and repeating that over and over for a few hours, this is the best I can do. Honestly, there's like little craters and stuff, little gaps, especially in between here. It gets real ugly, but like, I got things to do. I mean, if I had unlimited amount of time to work on this, I would make it prettier, but to be honest, I think I'm gonna call it here. I'm probably gonna sand everything down just to get all the burn marks off and get everything looking a little bit better, but I think I may just have to be content with this. Alright, got done with the belt sander. Looks a tiny bit more polished up, which is good, but those nooks and crannies, oh god, it looks terrible on camera. Yeah, those nooks and crannies, I gotta go in by hand with the like paper, like actual sandpaper, and polish that out. Best I can do. Alright, it is day 5, I think. It's supposed to be raining all week, so I've decided to move everything inside for now. Because, yeah, it says it's gonna rain in 1 hour, but it looks super sunny outside, but, you know, never know. Also, I left this thing outside yesterday, and I didn't know it was gonna rain, and it started rusting so much. My grandpa helped take some of it off, but, yeah, that'll be a problem. I bought a lot of mineral oil to put over it whenever I'm done, but, yeah. What needs to be done today is the pommel needs to be put on. But I think I should have bought a more cube block. I think it's supposed to go like this, but according to the reference pictures, I think it's supposed to be more squarish, so I don't know. Maybe I'll cut it down to size. Alright, just marked off the corners that I'll cut, and I think it'll take shape. Got them cut, real ugly, but we gotta go. Alright. Finished grinding down the edges best I could. I'll sand it more later, but time to drill. My absolute least favorite part of this project is definitely drilling the holes. But now it's done. Now it's time to weld. Look what we have here. Alright. Okay, first I decided to touch up some of the spots that look like craters because that looks just ugly. I'll go through my final stages of grinding down in a bit, but there you go. Look at that. Welded on. Just gotta grind it down now to make it look pretty.
寺のポーズのようスネジョンス木魚音響のフルスタイルランフロー Take 2で回そうブーメランに火を灯して夜空にかざそう
Alright, it's day 6 I think. Left off trying to drill this hole through the handle, but the drill bit won't go through for some reason. I have no idea. Tried drilling through the other side, but not sure what's going on. Alright, I ended up getting a smaller drill bit to start the hole again, and that helped a lot. Okay, I ended up breaking 2 smaller drill bits, and I figured out this one's, if you can focus, oh, whatever. This one is dull, but finally after an hour, finally got it to drill through. Look at that. Alright, time to sand down these pieces of oak wood I found, or I got, for the handguard. Let me show you here. So it would be placed like that. I'm gonna drill holes, of course, but as it is now, if I put the other piece, it's kind of thick, so I think I'm gonna sand it down just a tiny bit. That way, when I sand out the edges here, make the handle more circular, like a pole, it'll be easier to grab. And also for the screws that I got, focus, yep, and put them through here. I found these lock nuts, I think they're called, or cap nuts, and I screwed them there. But even with that, you see, yeah, I gotta sand down the wood a bit more. Right, so I did some sanding just to get the general oval / circle shape, but I'll go in by hand later to really smooth things out. But time to place it and drill the holes. Thanks to my grandpa's help, we finally attached the handle. Look at that. Oh, that's so nice. Wow. We so the screws I originally bought weren't long enough to go through all the way, but luckily we had some at home, and we just hammered everything in, just trying to make everything fit or reach to the other side. Check that out. Still raw and unpolished, but finish it tomorrow. Also need to put the bolts in here, each and every one of them. Day 7. Time to put the nuts in. Not the nuts, the bolts. See, I think I cut one right here already. Right there, like this. See that? Focus. So I plan on maybe grinding that down, that little square piece, so that it can fit into one of these. Because it kind of already does, like that. And then once I grind it out more, I'll probably just like hammer it in, like so. Alright, now that all of these are cut, even the 2 big ones that'll go on the pommel, it is time to hammer them all in, like I did with this one. Now for the final one. Day 8, final day. All there is left is to polish the blade itself and give it a slight edge. That's it. I've wrapped it right there. I'll cut some of that loose, but yeah.
巻き起こす J ラップとの戦争いかがわしいこの街並みの残像頭ん中でバカ洗脳すら戦場もはやこれこそが現状だどれだけのやつが今気づくだろう次々に繋がる連鎖反応爆走手のひらが
Please don't mind the mask marks, but after what, 15 days I think of working on this over spring break and then now to my summer break before I go off to work, I have finally finished it. There it is, guys. Decided just to put a slight bevel on just the tip. I'm leaving the edge as is. I feel like, number one, it'll be really time consuming to create an edge on there, and with what I'm doing with it, and for my purposes, I don't need an edge, so this is good enough for me. Finished wrapping it, tying it off right there. There's the pommel, looks nice. There you go. Yeah. That's the best that it'll polish my welds right there. It's got some gunk in between those, but after I wipe everything down, I think it should be alright. Either way, I don't mind. Everything's in piece, intact. One full piece of metal. That's all that matters. Even if it does look a little ugly right there, I think that gunk will wash out if I get something, but yeah. There it is, guys. Not too bad, huh? For some basic power tools and a whole lot of time and patience, not too bad. And here it is, the final reveal. First, I'd like to say thank you to everyone who supported me along this journey on Instagram and YouTube. I really appreciate you guys. Read Berserk if you haven't, it's actually so peak. And I hope to see you on the next build, if there is one. Hopefully there is. And finally, the sword that slayed 100 men. The sword that gave Guts his title, 100 Man Slayer.